Hello from Liberate Me, coming on for a little excerpt and a little announcement. You may have seen we are announcing the Liberate Me World Tour. Super excited for that. It's debuting in Singapore, where I mostly reside at 1880s. It is members only. But we do have some guest exclusive invites. So if you want to know more, just send me a DM. And in honor of that, and in honor of this sacred geometry by your soul design signature, created through pure passion, love, receivership of messages from the beyond, from the within, and taking it worldwide, step by step, scary stuff. It's exciting yet scary. So in honor of that, I want to start regularly putting out something that you can utilize, something that you can be with as a part of the Liberate Me community, whether you're a client, whether you are on the email list, or whether you follow on the social platforms, or whether you're attending the actual event. This will be a beautiful run-up over this one, or the ones that we will be doing across this beautiful world that we live in. Okay, so happy Saturday. I'm looking over here because I have some notes of things I want to say. So these are notes really from the Sacred Geometry desk of knowledge, which is not from me per se. It's what I read and it's what I channel, if you like, not to be too woo-woo about it, and for who this may serve today. So I hope this serves you in some way. If it's for you, brilliant. If it's not for you, it's okay. Maybe the next one will be, okay? So a message coming through, not in a way that even my human would expect. Inside of this is that I have been activating a pretty intense relationship, actually, relationship opportunities, perhaps maybe the biggest in decades, with myself, with my partner, and with family, where there is reconciliation in relationships, my relationship with wealth, and many more areas. So feel into for yourself, what is feeling intense right now? Where is there an opportunity for you for reconciliation? Okay, the message right now is reconciliation, union, no matter what. And I'm not clearing these things, but I am transmuting them into the beauty that they were designed to have. So we often offload these things, okay? Things that are challenging or downright unacceptable in relationships, with ourselves, with others, and we try to control them, manage them, or boundary them, or leave them, or make conclusions, right? Which makes a lot of sense, but instead, it's to know that, not with all these rainbows and butterflies, it's all happening for you, not to you, it's all for a purpose, but really in that truth, it is happening for me and not to me. And if this was truly, no matter how bad it is, was happening for you and not to you, then what would be the message inside of that, and what is it looking to bring you? You can answer that question, right? And you can share it in the comments, you can share it in whichever platforms that you are in the Liberate Me world on. Okay. Now, and the full self wants to see it as not that, for sure. I struggle with that too. It does not want to see it for that truth. It wants to judge it. It wants to make a conclusion on it. It wants to get angry, maybe blame, or whatever it may be. Those truths, once you can extract them, and it's very easy from your sacred geometry signature to extract the truth, creates new spaces inside of that. And they are certainly opening to me right now. And I want you to know that they are available to you too, okay? Through the sacred geometry sources. The sources want you to know this, right? So you can see it, it's hard to see it, right, when you're in it. And when we don't know our sacred geometry signature, it's hard to understand what the frick is this about, okay? And it's more about moving into a space. So it's asking you to consider, can you open up to considering being open to a truth that would feel quite triggering inside of there, with patience, with grace, with being a detective to get to the truth and not taking things on face value. So feelings the way you might be having a face value response right now, totally natural, we will do it. It's actually part of a necessary part of transmutation, right? We still have the human experience. Or where it's, that initial reaction that you're having. What are those situations? Bring them forward. So when we face these situations, whatever they may be, your relationship that seem, hard, difficult, your relationship with yourself, with another intimate partner, with wealth, with your work, or something is just not acceptable. This person is wrong and you are maybe right, or maybe you're the person that you're feeling that you're being hard on and wrong. There is no way out. That's a superficial face value response. So you will always have that superficial reaction, myself included, we all do, okay? And just looking at my notes here. And then there is an unconscious truth, okay? An unconscious truth for that reaction that you're having and for that behavior that may be coming at you from others that seems completely unacceptable, there's no way forward, or it's very difficult, okay? There's actually an unconscious truth, and that comes from your sacred geometry signature. And it blows my mind, okay? It makes no logical sense whatsoever, but it is so, so beautiful. And you will it's never what you think, okay? It's never what you think, and it can't be figured out through, how to put this, so my hair keeps getting... It can't be figured out through superficial self-work. And what I mean by that is practices that don't really go any deeper to the truths that we cannot see and that we cannot access. So we can't just do it through a bit of self-work or a bit of, this is wrong and this is right. That doesn't work, all right? So it's always the most shocking, surprising, yet relieving, eye-opening, freeing message that you receive from your sacred geometry. And it is the most truthful knowing you will ever receive. And the relief inside of that is massive as you receive those messages, okay, from your one-of-a-kind sacred geometry signature. And the freedom that comes from that is really huge. So it's not that you need to work on that, okay? It's simply receiving that message starts to transcend. And have you receive, as you be with this and transmute this, you don't just transmute it and get an incredible message and realize things. You actually start to receive what is pre-created for you in what we call the macro sacred geometry world. And yes, everything is pre-created for you, okay? Whether it's more of who you're here to be, what you're here to enjoy, what you're here to have, what you're here to do, it's all there, nothing to figure out. So all of it is created by design, no matter how beautiful or ugly the situation, with access to your sacred geometry, it can do a 180. And it's asking, can I consider to being open to that, even though it doesn't fit society norms or what everybody else might be thinking and doing in that situation? So a relationship that you've had, you may be feeling on that superficial level, okay? So how to say this? It's not a relationship where you're going deep enough to receive that truth. So why is this the case? How can this be the case that we're not receiving that deeper truth and we're making these conclusions and these terrible things are happening either by us, by others, people that say they love us, okay? Because it's all by design. It's not about figuring these things out. It's not about working on yourself. It's about being immersed in your sacred geometry signature. You just don't need to like fix it or heal because you're not broken. And believe it or not, they're not broken either. And so this really is the end to that healing as we know it. And you don't need to try so hard. It's a natural relationship with your sacred geometry. And ultimately, it's knowing that you or the other is not sabotaging in any way, but it's really happening by design for you to utilize it very specifically, okay? And it's all about receiving. And like, oh my God, right? When you realize there is this foundational level that we haven't fully been aware of, like a lot of you may sense it, that there's something more. There's something I'm not really getting here. And there is nothing wrong with you or anyone else for that matter. And yes, you know, your sacred geometry signature and the answers it gives, once you get access to it, can be scary. But at the same time, it's very freeing. And there's so much beauty in it. When what we desire starts moving in and the way we experience those bad experiences can change, okay? You'll always have that superficial response, okay? But then it's about utilizing it through that. And it really is life-changing. You also get to receive huge good news from your sacred geometry signature. It will, and as you receive it, it will literally change your life just by hearing it, just by being with it. So, and it's all good news. Even if on that superficial face value level, it doesn't seem like that, it is. It is good news, okay? Yeah. And it can't be shared unless you want to have a look inside of your sacred geometry signature. It's this reciprocation. So if you're feeling like you're addicted to toxic life, toxic relationships, truly the idea that anything is toxic is superficial and a face value response, because everything is by design and we have a sacred geometry curriculum that we agreed before we arrived here in the way that I get the message, okay? But when you hear your sacred geometry signature response to what you thought was toxic, it is mind-blowing. It is freeing. It's something you won't hear anywhere else. And you get to re-meet that situation, okay? With yourself, with an intimate partner, with your wealth, with your work, with your lifestyle, your relationship, with anything. You receive a different level of truth that is not available without your sacred geometry signature. So this is part of a new series. We're going to call it Dare to Liberate Yourself, which is part of the Liberate Me World Tour. And if you desire your sacred geometry signature to honor this in a simple way and increase your capacity receiving all the experiences that life gives you, because they're all by design, then, wow, we've got some fun things coming for you. So I hope this has served you today. Just feeling if there's anything else I want to say before we go off. Yeah, just really residing in a space of openness in this truth, and not to get too woo-woo about this. I believe, or the way I've been told through my gift, is that we have chosen this life, this experience, every single thing, okay, in the macro sacred geometry before we arrived here. So we have this sacred geometry curriculum, okay? So not in the way that, you created it, you deserve it, not that, okay? Not that superficial way of thinking about it. And if you really believe this, what you can, because there's a truth inside of it, you can really enjoy some beautiful creations, okay? Yeah, and even some shortcuts through your sacred geometry. Okay. Yeah. Just seeing if there's any final message it wants to give before I sign off. I'm sending you so much love. Okay, final message it wants me to give. Looking at my notes, seeing what it wants me to give. That's why no one or nothing is all bad, right? Even when you're like, I have to not be with this person because they've done X, Y, Z. But they're still not all bad, right? There's still love, there's still this, or you have done those things. We can't leave ourselves, thank God. So we have to transcend ourselves at least. But actually, we're all one and connected. So anything we experience on the outside has something for us in the inside. Okay? Because we're multifaceted. We don't need to compartmentalize and put anyone in a box. So feel where you're putting yourself in a box or someone else in a box with any label or anything like that. I'm just reaching over to put my laptop down there. And I just want to send you so much love. I hope you've enjoyed this mini episode of Dare to Liberate. Excited to announce the Liberate Me World Tour as well. Get in touch if you'd like to attend the one in Singapore. We have a few exclusive places. It is a members only. And we will be going to other locations and we will put on more dates if there is demand for it. I love you so much. Thank you for listening and I shall speak to you soon. Bye-bye.